Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Banished. Let's get going. What the hell's that? Rupper. I don't know what. That's just used around Lignik. You know what? I feel fine with that being a general starting location. As some of you may notice, the previous game of Banished was terrible, but I burped there. Great start. Great start, really. Fantastic. You know what? I don't need to explain myself. Oh, wow. For those that are curious why I sound a bit weird, I just had a random bug that occurred with the other game that caused my AI to go buck wild, and then when I tried to refresh it, my graphics card crashed, and then the whole computer went jit wild and then returned to normal again, and then everything returned to normal again. It was fine, but the AI was still shit, and it really pissed me off. So, we're back here with our town of Lignik. We recently made a town Slaughterville, but you know what? I don't think I really want to make that town anymore, because that just brings back horrible, horrible memories of the past, let's say. So, large worlds. No, not easy. Large world, fair, on, disasters are on. Maybe the disaster was that all of my fucking citizens were just that dense. You probably, you didn't see it. You didn't see how the density that I was representing there. You know what, let's just go. Lignig, fantastic. I'm probably going to regret not naming the town something unique to my own attire, my own sort of way of life, my way of thinking. But you know what? Fuck it. It was annoying as well because it was a good spawn. Now we're going to get a shit spawn. You know what? I kind of hope we do. Kind of hope we do because, you know, we'll be able to build upon it. We'll be able to progress. So let's pause, although I don't really want to pause. It's actually a good spawn. Well, I say good spawn. It's decent. Decent spawn. It's not amazing. It's alright, though. We've got a nice foresty area. Actually, quite a lot of forest areas right here that we can use to gather mushrooms in that lot. We can mine up this entire zone here, though. And then we can put some houses down and get going, basically. We're going to set up a 14 by 14 farm in the center of town as well, because I have a way of doing it. It's the best thing to do, really. Start a farm, and also my... Jesus Christ, what's happening today? My brain is terrible. I've just finished work, okay? I can't think straight, and everything is going to hell, and also I'm extremely agitated by that previous game. Ugh, the minimap on this, there's no point. Why would you have a minimap? I don't understand. We need 4 builders, because we are going to get going with the construction of our lovely town right here, and we're making a farm right off the bat. Hopefully we get a very nice starting sort of farm resource. You get to start off with 2 random seeds. I'm trying to find the farm here. Sorry, I got to talk and do this at the same time. And we're going to make a 14 by 14 crop field, because that's the size of a market. What I do is I replace the crop field with the market later on. The market is basically... At least what I found is that the market is pretty much the barn, but it can hold more. That's pretty much what I found. So what I usually do is I get rid of the barn and then replace this field with the market. And what do we have? We have beans and squash. Not great. I don't know. I just always like to start off with corn or wheat or something like that just because it looks cooler. But beans, I'm not too sure what that looks like, to be honest. It's probably just going to look like cabbage. So, yeah. Great. We need a farmer. We just need a farmer for this field. It doesn't take that long. And it's early spring, so we'll have a good amount of time to really get going with that work. Also, we need to create a house right here and another house right here because it's a decent area. Do we have enough room? We do have enough room if we want to get rid of this storage pile. So let's get going. Let's get going, ladies and gentlemen, in the land of Lignig. What a weird name for a town. I didn't really want to... I really should have put something else in. Now I'm regretting it. Look at these guys, though. Not too sure where they came from, but they really did bring themselves some very decent tools that allow them to completely go buck wild on these things. Now, hopefully the builders will actually construct these bloody wooden houses. The problem before that I had was that none of them built any houses. They built everything but houses, and they all froze to death. And it was really frustrating. That's what happened with the other world anyway after, like, that was the problem. The AI wouldn't build anything. It would do all the other stuff. There we go. They are building, though. Fantastic. At least they're bloody doing something. And someone has become an adult. Yep, they're just going to mine this area. It's going to get rid of all of the crap around it. And it looks like we're probably going to need another farmer, actually. This guy's taking a lot long to get to work. Also, let's put it on 10 times speed, because why the balls not? Now, we've got one house done. That's fantastic. A lot of people are living inside that house, though. And we don't want to escalate our growth too quickly. No, we do not. Looks like there's a very small family living in that house. Bunch of bastards. Yeah, we don't want to escalate our growth too quickly now, because problems do arise in the future. that, well, problems would arise in the future that would cause our town to be overfed, let's say, and they would start eating food at exponential rates. And then we would die, and it wouldn't be fantastic. No, we want to set up a foundation before we actually, you know, get to work with everything. Every building needs a cornerstone, and currently our cornerstone is the foundations of this area. It's fantastic. Makes sense as well. Construction, building, and shit like that. Also, these corn seeds are building a very weird and sciencey sort of fashion. I don't believe I've ever seen it before. Although it would be kind of cool to see seeds be grown in a 10 times speed sort of fashion. Although I have to wonder, 10 times speed probably isn't that way in real life. It looks like in this world, every day is about 5 minutes long if I'm going at 10 times speed. In fact, monthly, every day is probably less than that. Like 2 minutes long, if you know what I'm talking about right there. Probably don't. Early summer, and it looks like these beans are ripe and are ready to be picked. It looks pretty cool as well. Look at that. It's nice dark shade of a color. And that is pretty cool. It looks like there's a wooden house right there that they are failing to construct. We need another house over there. And the road here looks pretty cool. I don't like it when I point in this direction, but for some reason there's the entrance right there. Looks a bit weird. It's the same with this here by the looks of it. Oh no, there's a door right there. It's a bit of a modern door by the looks of it. It's a bit weird. And same with this one here, although these two houses are exactly the same. And they are not building these two wooden houses right here, which is really, really frustrating. Storage logs. Storage for logs, stone, and iron at near capacity. Okay, well that's good to know. It's good to know. Right, we're going to do this. There we are. Refresh the builders. Get them to actually get to work, bastards. And it looks like... Are they getting to work? Well, the problem is that we need to actually increase the storage capacity right here, because there's not enough space for them to actually get rid of all these trees and then get rid of the logs and put them in different places. So what we need to do is make another storage pile and just elongate this one to this length. Beautiful. We have quite a lot of stuff right here, which means we'll probably have to stop doing all this crap right... Oh, wrong button. We'll have to stop mucking around with all of this mining materials and stuff like that. We'll get to work on that in a minute, but right now we are oversaturated on these materials. We don't want to over-mine the land. No, that would be a very, very bad thing to do indeed. We need to get some proper professions built in, though. It looks like the storage piles are being used, by the looks of it. 16% of that storage power has been used. Loads of stuff being mined here. How the hell did they get all these iron blocks and I think the stone and iron, actually, to be honest, so perfectly and symmetrically, not symmetrically, that's the wrong word right there, so dimensionally well shaped. Just look at them. They got no sort of preference. They have no point of... I'm sure the word is real. the word is real, but I can't find it. That is an unfortunate inconsistency with my sentencing structure right there, ladies and gentlemen, which I constantly complain about, like the little bitch that I am. These people are cold, and looks like we have run out of these wood things. That is a great way of saying it. And we're probably going to freeze to death once again, because it is mid-autumn. Freeze to death once again. Let's not have that. No, we don't want them to go on a hunger strike. No, we do not. I made a very good world last time, and I don't want this one to go to hell just because of some BS. Some bullshit. There we are. Where do we want to put this woodcutter? I mean, this is a nice spot, but I'm feeling like this town needs more shape. Like, maybe we put the woodcutter right here, because he's near all the wood that way. I think that's a pretty good idea. I think what we want to do, though, is build a house right here. It's annoying that you can't build sort of close enough to this barn. That is very frustrating. I suppose we can put them along this way, actually. Like this, or like this. Do it like this. And then, like, back here we can have a nice house, which can be the house that the guy lives at. That sounds like a good idea. I'd do that. That's pretty cool. Yeah, okay then. When we'll do that. And then we'll continue onwards. There we go. And we'll do this because for some reason they stop doing stuff every now and then. And it looks like the woodcutting place is being constructed, which is fantastic. Immediately we will assign a woodcutter. Well, they're not really a woodcutter. They're someone that creates the logs and that lot. To stop these people from actually freezing to death, which is becoming imminent, unfortunately. So we need to get this done very quickly. And it looks like the thingamajig, the resource known as firewood, is being created, and these people are no longer freezing to death. Fantastic! Isn't that good news? It looks like everyone has a nice home as well. to keep themselves nice and hot. Nice and hot. Yes, basically that was the goal right there. Listen to this music. Very cheery. We have the town spirit right here. We need a crier. And we actually need a fishing dock. That's what we do need. We could make a bridge right here and another bridge right here. Listen, I like bridges. I'm not too sure if I'm the only one. Hopefully I'm not the only one. But I like bridges. They are a good thing indeed. Now, this area, we do need to have a much greater source of... Bloody hell, I hate this UI. It's really confusing at the moment. It's not really that confusing. It just takes a little bit of effort to actually memorize. So we need a gatherer's hut. And we need to put it... Well, not too far away, but this is like a decent distance away from the town. And then we need to, right next to that, put a forester's lodge. I really wish it would show you the outline of buildings much clearer than what it currently does when you try to place a building. It's a little bit annoying, like maybe a nice blue sort of schematic, as it were, showing the outlines of the building. But oh well. These people are going to run out of food soon enough, so if they don't go over here and build these gathering huts, and the same with a fishing village over here, then they are going to start dying, unfortunately. And it looks like the lumber, firewood even, is being used up. So we're going to create a nice fishing dock right here. Oh, that's a nice snug place to have it as well. And then we're going to create a nice road that's hooked to that. Beautiful. That's a nice place to have it, I feel. Hopefully they'll create this gatherer's hut in time. That's what we need to create. And along there we can make a nice road as well connecting to that. Although we should hopefully make it so that the road is connected this way instead. Which I think will be a much greater idea. So we'll do that instead. And that way we can have a neat amount of space. And also it'll add to the sort of, I don't know, the shape of the town, you know. We don't have something nice and boring. We want to have something nice, well, shit and boring. We want to have something nice and well planned and nicely put together. Yes! Fantastic! This is going fairly well. I say fairly well. The food right now is sort of dwindling. But it is rising, however. So maybe not dwindling anymore. We need to put in some fishermen as well. Awesome! It's going to go much better as soon as it hits spring. And it's late winter as well, which means early spring is coming. And it is here right now. As soon as it stops snowing, we can create more beans for harvest this year. And like I said before, we will remove this in a later date and create a market there instead, which will sort of represent the center of the town. Now that we have a forester's lodge, we can actually change the limit for our logs. I think we could do that anyway. There's probably a way we could do that anyway, but right now I can't see it. So, we need more people, unfortunately. Well, actually, yeah, it's not great, it's not bad. Summer, though, and we haven't actually started doing any of this. It's spring, I mean, not summer. We haven't actually started doing much planting for these crop fields, which is unfortunate. But oh well. Change one of these fishermen and change them into a forester. Fantastic. Now, as for these bloody... I keep forgetting what it's called. Firewood. Why do I keep forgetting it's called firewood? It's so simple. Yeah, as for the firewood, I'm going to keep that limit as a limit of 100 so that we don't actually run out of logs. Logs are useful for other things like building houses primarily. That's the reason why you like logs, because it's nice at building houses. Now, we could make one of these very large buildings that are used to store people that currently do not have anywhere to live. And it's very useful to have one of those. And also, it looks fairly cool as well. And I'm feeling like having one as well. I just misclicked right there. And it's not too expensive to make. And I feel like it would be a very good idea. And it will definitely add to the town. So let's get around to building one of those. And I think that'll look fairly cool. And also, it's nicely snug in there as well. We do need some more builders, but we'll leave that for now. Now, we do need to do some micromanagement when it comes to the woodcutters and the foresters not having any more ability to mine because they have reached their limits. This is the same with the farmers during winter. We need to move around the tasks so we can increase efficiency around the towns. However, what is our current intake? Well, last season we collected 8 fish successfully, and for some reason 1 stone from this season. That's a bit strange. Just take a drink of water. Awesome. That is a very cool thing indeed. And this boarding house is in construction, and we are going to run out of tools at some point, I've just noticed, which means we will need... Well, we're not going to run out of tools anytime soon. It's just that I like to think ahead, and we are going to need to think ahead in the future in this game, because it's definitely one of those types of games. However, look at this. It's a very nice quarry location, this nice flat bit right here. So we are going to make a bridge for the future. Definitely going to be a way of future-proofing our situation right here. And there we are. We're going to make a nice bridge crossing this area. And we, once again, will not be using it. Not once again, never said anything there. But we're not going to be using it right now. But in the future, quarry's going to be here. And maybe a mine or something around these nice hilly parts. We don't want them near the town. I'm not too sure if it really affects them in any way. But I don't know. Maybe this can be the working quarters or something like that. Not really too sure. But we'll work around that in the future. This boarding house has been completed, so it means we don't need to do much housing construction for the time being if there were to be new people that are moving in and don't want to live with their parents anymore, don't want to be subjugated to their will. So they go to the boarding house instead. It's like a hovel, but, you know, not full of crackheads. Not all of them are. Not all of them. Leave this place. Yes. How is the bridge going? The bridge is going very well. It's raining again. The thing I hate about this game is that it rains a lot. Early autumn, which means we have gathered the harvest for this year. We have. Okay, so we don't need these farmers anymore. These farmers can actually turn into woodcutters. There we are. And then we'll swap them over at a later date. I think next year we want to make some squash. Okay, we want some nice orange juice. Well, it's probably not squash. 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 Squish. Squash. You know what? Fuck it. Screw it, okay? We don't need to be doing any of this bullcrap. What's the intake for this Forester's Lodge? Yeah, like I've already mentioned this before. At least I believe I have mentioned this. The Forester's Lodge is primarily for keeping the forests of the area nice and built up for the Gatherer's Hut, so that the area can't be completely deforested and then the Gatherer's Hut becomes irrelevant. You know, it sort of negates that error right there. And also, Forester's Lodge is really good for making a town look more lively, because it's nice to have a nice bunch of trees around your town, rather than just a flat plain until, obviously, you become more industrialized. Any good things? People have been born. How many children do we have? We have 9 children now. It's a pretty good idea to make a school. However, we are running out of resources, as you can tell, so we are going to start gathering more of these resources. There we are. We don't need to gather those iron bits there. We just need to gather some of these trees. Yeah, primarily it's just the trees that we need to gather. How is the food going? The food's going very well, actually. 1,451. Way better than what it previously was, being at around about 100 to 0. Which I think is fantastic. We're definitely keeping that on a nice, steady curve. And it looks like this bridge is nearly done.